Right now, we're going to turn to an update on the incredible reporting from earlier this week from Investigative Post that some migrants, including families with small children, have been held at holding cells at our local border bridges for up to 2 weeks in what appears to be a new immigration policy. Well, now leaders at the state and federal level are demanding answers from the Trump administration. Shoemaker with Investigative Post broke that story. He's back here with us tonight. Great to see you.
Thanks.
So I want to start here by quoting some of your reporting in this new article, and we'll put this up on the screen here as soon as we can. Here is the quote that CBP officers at the Peace, Rainbow, and Lewiston-Queenston bridges had detained both individuals and families in cells for days or weeks at a time on multiple occasions beginning in January. Advocates and other sources said under past presidential administrations, such detentions would last no longer than 48 hours, and said holding people, including whole families and young children, was new under Trump. An Investigative Post reporter personally witnessed the detention of one family, which included children. That family has since been released and is now involved with ICE. So that's sort of part of the original reporting here. What are you hearing from elected officials? This seems like at least a bipartisan group of them wanting some answers.
Yeah, that's right. So after we initially reported this on Tuesday, I reached out to Senator Schumer's office, a bunch of the congressional representatives from Western New York, as well as some state officials as well. The federal representatives all said this was news to them and that they were going to be asking the Trump administration for answers on this. I will say that since we reported that first story, Customs and Border Protection is now acknowledging for the first time that they are in fact detaining these people. Before, they were not acknowledging that this was really happening. They say that they're really only detaining people who they call, quote, illegal aliens, as well as those who have committed a crime. It's not clear if that's really the case here. The one family that I referenced in the article, and we can't unfortunately reveal too many details because of they have a very sensitive case right now. That family, it's not clear why they were detained, what category of CBPs they might have fallen under. So it's not clear if those are the only people being detained, but the federal government is at least acknowledging this, and lawmakers are seeking answers.
And the concern here, and we mentioned this a couple of days ago, these are not facilities that are designed to hold a family with children for 2 weeks at a time, right? Right.
There are cells at these bridge offices, including the Peace Bridge. I think you've personally been in one of those before, and there are rooms, I guess, just described as cells at the Rainbow Bridge as well. However, these are not designed for long-term detention, and folks have told me that in the past, you're only getting held for at maximum 48 hours in these facilities, because then what the federal government would do is they would say, okay, maybe your paperwork isn't totally, square. Here's a court date, show up to court and prove that you have the right paperwork to be in the United States, and you get released. You're not meant to be held there. That's no longer happening. CBP is now holding people instead of releasing them for a court date, in some cases anyway, and in some cases then releasing them to ICE. And CBP said that in some cases they have to hold people until ICE has room for them in a detention center.
And real quickly, any reason to believe because of some of the outrage from some elected officials that this may change, or what comes next?
Well, we are still asking the federal government for answers about what this policy specifically is and what comes next. There's speculation that this is tied to the broader Trump administration effort to deport, immigrants and refugees. We don't know that for a fact just yet. So we have more reporting to do, and we have more answers to get from the federal government, but we will stay on this.
And we will, of course, keep everybody updated here as well. InvestigativePost.org. You can go there and read the original reporting from Dale and also this follow-up now. I know you'll stay on top of it. J. Dale, thank you.
Thanks.
Good to see you.